Hello everyone, it's Matt from Akuma Mods back again with a unboxing of some very interesting items. So today we're going to be talking about Wham Bam. Wham Bam! Yeah, I know, that's real cheesy, but whatever. So, as you guys may or may not know, I'm very much into resin printing. I do a lot of reviews, a lot of testing out for resins and all kinds of different stuff for resin 3D printing. So, I started seeing on the internet about a week and a half ago some people talking about Wham Bam, and I kind of knew something was going on in the background. What it was, I wasn't sure, but now obviously we know. So I reached out to Wham Bam and asked them if they'd be kind enough to send us some resin build plates to test out for our resin printer. So I got a couple of them. I got one for like the Creality or any cubic photon. There's one in there that's a medium-sized build plate, which I don't have an Gouge Saturn. I have a Sane Smart Kumitsu KL9, which is pretty much the same build volume. It's just got a higher Z height. So that doesn't really matter. It's the build on the actual plate that matters. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at this and see what it's all about and does it really work the way that it's intended to. So we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing of this and set up and see if we can get this rocking and rolling. And then we're going to use it for about a week or so, as I normally do, and come back around and do our full review. With that being said, some key points I wanted to try and see if there's any issue with anything. One being, I don't use IPA. I haven't since, the whole worldwide shortage of it. I've been using denatured alcohol, which seems to be a whole lot better in terms of cleaning my prints. But does it hold up to the magnetic base plate that these things use? Now, also, with that being said, I do have an Anycubic wash and cure station, but I don't use the build plate feature where it actually washes the build plate. So I don't really expect that to be a huge deal breaker for me, at least, because I don't use that feature. I don't dip my whole build plate in there to get it all washed up and ready to rock and roll for the next print. So I usually release my prints from the build plate, dip it into the wash station, and be on my merry way. So for this is very good because for a lot of people, stuff like this is scary. Or, a spatula or whatever. Scraping them off the plate can be very daunting for a lot of people. And that's why I use straight razors. And yes, I know the comments are going to flood in. Oh my God, don't use a straight razor. I'll be honest. I have 15 different resin printers here currently. And I use that on all of them. Does it gouge the plate? Sometimes it does. It's not going to affect what I'm doing because 90% of the time I'm going to be using supports. So it doesn't affect it in any way, shape, or form. Now, if I'm doing something flat, okay, then I'm going to utilize a build plate that doesn't have that issue. But, with anything, you can't always go and say, oh, this is terrible, you shouldn't be doing that. Do what you need to. If it gets the job done, by all means, use it. With that being said, let's get back to going on this and not my tangent rant. So, first and foremost, let's just say that these are directly shipped from China, at least currently. I don't know if Wham Bam stocks them, which I believe they are located in Florida, if I'm not mistaken. I don't know if they stock them or not, but they do get them direct from the manufacturer. As it says here, designed in Florida, and that's pretty much all it says on the box here. Now, usually when you purchase these Wham Bam flex plates, you usually get the sizing on here. Obviously, we have several different sizes, so none of them are specifically marked on here. So it says designed in Florida, made in China. And then you can go to whambamsystems.com, which I will leave a link in the description below. So you guys can go ahead and order on your merry way if you think that this option is something for you. With that being said, let's try and open up this this box here without destroying too much, but I'm sure I will. Yeah, we're going to be destroying it. So we're going to open it up from the side here. Looks like I'm going to have to get my trusty knife here. So that's pretty much it. So very good packaging. Again, this came from China, and it came really quickly. So right then and there, I'm already impressed with the very fast shipping. Again, I don't know if that was something special just for me, just to get these in my hands. But from what I hear, shipping in general is not too bad from direct from China when you're purchasing these things. So let's see here. Get out my trusty knife here. Don't try this at home, kids. Guess I need to sharpen that, eh? Been hanging around with my Canadian friends too much. Safety first. Let's put that away. Get that out of there. All right. So, what do we have here? We have a 135 by 80, a 138 by 78, which I believe is for the Nova, actually. And then we have the medium size. I say medium size because I do have larger printers. I don't have extra large like a Phenom or anything like that. I have larger printers, which I'm going to try and work on getting flex plates for those. So the people who are out there that are watching this video are looking for flex plates for the 215 by 135 build volume. I'm working on it. I don't know when that's going to happen, but we're going to try and get those either through Wham Bam or the manufacturer, however it may be. So we'll see about getting those out at least on the market. I know it's kind of a smaller market, so that's why going through direct to the manufacturer might be a little bit better for people like us. But yeah, we'll take a look here and see what everything is. You know what? Let me pull up this website really quick. Sorry for doing this on a live video. I should have had myself stuff prepared. All right. Flexible build system for resin. Well, this is good that I pulled it up anyways, because you guys probably want to know about price range and what's going on with it. So I'm just going to go through the available build volumes that they currently have. So for the longer Orange 10, they have a build plate for that. The Frozen Sonic Mini Orange 30 and the Kudo Bean, which I've heard a little bit about. They have a build plate for that, the Epax X1, which, yeah, that's one I need to take a look at. Then there's the Elegoo Mars, Mars Pro, Wanhao D7, Creality LDR, which, again, this is for this one. That also goes with the Nova Elfin, which I also have, and then the Zortrak Inkspire. Then we also have the 135 by 80. This is specifically for Photon and Photon S. I do believe that this will fit my WeBox Lite. So if that's the case, we'll probably end up putting it on there, but we'll see. Then they also have the medium-sized ones, which are for the Kumitsu KL9, which I have over there. So we'll install that later on down the line. I have to change out a FEP anyway, so we might as well just do a project day out of it. And then, of course, the Elegoo Saturn. Now, I will say that the Elegoo Saturn, apparently they decided to switch up plates on people. So this size might change a little bit because the Saturn is now shipping with a slightly larger uh, build volume on the plate. Whether or not that's going to give you more build volume or not in terms of real estate for printing, I have no idea because obviously the screen is only so big. But just a word of advice for that. And then they have the extra large printing one, which is the Peopley? I don't know how to say that. Phenom. So yeah, so they do have a wide range of flex plates, going from small to big. And I will be working directly with Wham Bam to get all my sizes in there. So that way, Wham Bam can have a full list of all the build volumes that they possibly can. So this way, they provide you guys with the best build plate for your specific printer. And I say that because I have some very oddball printers here. Take, for example, the SparkMaker, the Hiea SQ1, the G-Tech DP200, printers that people usually don't have. I tend to have in my collection. So, and again, that's just me. I'm kind of a weird guy like that. So, yeah, obviously these are all just for pre-order as of making this video. So just know that, when you do go to order them, you're not going to be getting them right away. You're not going to see them on Amazon, at least not right now, if they even do sell them on Amazon. And, if you happen to have a printer that you don't see and you think that the community can gain from that build plate, then go ahead and shoot them an email. They actually have a request for new size button here that you can enter in and get new sizes for. And one of the things that they specify is usually if you have 50 people or more, then that usually will give them the ability to manufacture that specific build plate. So that's usually their, what do they call that? MOQ. So for you people who don't know what that is, that's basically your minimum order quantity. So so just take into thought that I have a printer here, like my bigger printers, like I was talking about. My large printers are 215 by 135. That's great and all, but I need to get at least 50 people in order for them to open that up for us. Now, I can probably get that, but it's going to be like right on the tip there, if that's the case. So, without further ado, let me stop talking here and get on with the show here. Let me grab my build plate, which I have just had soaking in denatured alcohol here. Clean it off here. Okay. Let's go ahead and grab a paper towel. Yes, I know paper towels are not something that's supposed to be used for resin. Again, this is just something I have because I'm currently out of shop towels, so I just needed to grab something right now. I don't actually use shop towels. I use something called Wipe All X60, and it's kind of like a shop towel, but it's not marketed as one. They're just kind of like a heavier duty wipe. So this has been sitting in there for a little while, so it's pretty much cleaned off, ready to go. All right, so again, one of the great things about these flex plate systems is going back to the whole gouging your bed and things like that, and people sanding their beds. I'll be straight honest here. You don't ever need to sand your bed unless it's warped, okay? If somebody tells you, hey, you need to sand your bed because your adhesion is wrong, that's absolutely wrong, 100%, okay? So, with that being said, this plate does have some gouges in it. It's not terrible. It can still print on it perfectly fine. So, in fact, there's some stuff still stuck to here, so we're going to move that off. Just going to go through here. All right, so obviously you want to make sure that it is as best as possible to adhere the mats. So let's go ahead and take this out. So these are very, very cool. I like this already. So in this kit, we have double Wham Bams. So there's two kits you can buy. You can buy the single plate with a magnetic base, or you can buy two plates, two flex plates with a magnetic base. This one happened to be the dual one. So this is kind of nice because you can just go ahead and hot swap some prints. Wow, these magnets are very strong. So again, these are laser inscribed with Wham Bam on there, and then they're also stamped with Wham Bam on the magnetic plate. So again, we can go ahead and line this up and make sure that everything is good. That's a pretty good fit. So this one is sized for 138 by 78. So that's a very specific build plate. I will say most of my other ones are like 130 by 80 or 130 by 70. So this one's definitely the oddball out of the group. So you definitely want to make sure that you are getting your correct build plate for it. Installation should be pretty simple here. Let's just go ahead and check out what these are. I think these are just promotional goodies. So if that's the case, we'll put them up there. Looks like some sandpaper, some stickers. Always gotta love some stickers. So just going through the little setup here, we'll take a look at everything. The Wham Bam team would like to sincerely thank you for your purchase and welcome you to the growing community of people who have chosen the highest quality in 3D print solutions. We are a new and growing company. Every customer is part of our family. It's great to hear. Please, if you love our product, share your thoughts, photos, videos on social media and forums, and tag us at Wham Bam Systems. Definitely will be doing that. Always love to promote stuff that absolutely works and makes my life easier. 100% down with that. As a bonus, you will be automatically entered in to win a t-shirt in our monthly giveaway. Ooh, that would be awesome. I can add it to my Monicure t-shirt. For information on use, installation, and solutions of all of our products, visit our support section on our website, visit our YouTube channel, and follow us on our Facebook page and social. And once again, from the bottom of our hearts, Wham Bam thanks you, man. All right. So then there's also an installation sheet here. So it says basically maintenance, use, and support and help. So maintenance, make sure your Wham Bam magnetic base stays free of debris and especially metal scraps. Keep the surface of your build plates clean. If your flex plate becomes scratched, you can always refresh it with the 400 grit sandpaper. So that's always nice. I'll be honest, I don't see that being needed all that much because obviously this is a flex plate. You're not going to be using a scraper on it. But again, if a print adheres too well, then you might have to use something to scrape it off. So I guess you might be using it. It all depends on how your support structure is, I would guess on that. And, if you're overexposing a print, obviously you're going to have a bad day. Anyway, going on, let's see here. If your flex plate becomes scratched, you can always refresh it with 400 grit sandpaper and clean it with isopropyl alcohol afterwards. Again, I don't have IPA here. I have denatured alcohol, which pretty much works exactly the same. Use. Simply ensure your magnetic base is clean and dry. Affix the flex plate into position. Ensure when the build plate is fully lowered, there is no interference between the sides of the vat and the small lift tab protruding from the flex plate. So one of the things that I was absolutely worried about is this little pull tab. Now, obviously they can eliminate that, but it's going to be more of a pain for you guys to remove these plates. So it's always nice to have that little tiny tab there. I did make a suggestion to the owner of Wham Bam to possibly do like a U-shaped one. But he said, so far they haven't had any issues with that. Maybe down the line, You know, if it becomes an issue, they'll think about, you know, coming back around to it. But as of right now, it's not needed. It's kind of a moot point. Let's see. Print as usual, and you may want to decrease the bottom layer exposure time if you feel parts stick too well. Once printed, simply use the tab flex plate to lift the model off the machine. Pay attention to not pry the magnet off of the build plate when removing the flex plate. So it seems like the adhesion on these things are good, but you know there's still that possibility that you can pull the entire system off, which that's understandable because when I tried pulling off this, I thought I was pulling off a backing to the magnetic base. So so yeah, just remove it with caution if you guys are going to use it. Let's see. Now you can wash and cure parts on a flex plate or remove the flex plates from cured parts. So with that point being said, this is my biggest concern about this entire system. While it is a great system and something I look forward to probably utilizing on all my machines, and something I've been wanting to do for a long time, is the fact that, you know, I have a problem with people who are new users and don't understand the exposure to resin to their skin. So I will say that if anybody is using this system, properly drain your build plate. Okay, don't just, all right, my print is done. I just got done printing. It's still dripping. I'm going to remove the plate. If you do that, be very, very cautious because resin can possibly fly everywhere because you're having a flex plate. Now, these aren't as flexy as I thought they would be. They're actually kind of stiffer, so that's a little bit better. That puts my mind a little bit at ease. But there's still the fact that, you know, resin can go flying anywhere. It can drip everywhere, you know. So if you are going to use these systems, make sure you are properly using this in every way, shape, or form, and using the proper safety precautions when handling resin in general. So always stick to using gloves and things like that. Let's see. You will find that large rigid parts pop off as soon as you flex, but smaller individual supports may stick a bit well. So again, that's probably why they have the grit paper, because you might still have to use some of the scrapers to get some parts off. Not a big deal. As long as I can get a good portion of my print off, I'm fine with that. So help them to use a spatula to help them release. If you have two flex plates, you can send the second immediately to print while cleaning the first one. So that's one of the things where if you guys are going to get this system, I highly suggest the double Wham option. Jeez, I had a brain fart there. Do the double Wham because you can just go from one print to another print. So if you're doing parts and things like that, stuff that needs to keep on going and going and going, that is one of the major things that was like a selling point for me, is the ability to swap it out. So so that way I could just keep on going, because most of the time it's that I spend is dripping off build plates and waiting for it to dry and do everything like that before I can do that, where I can drip the most of it off and then just go ahead and put it into another print. If there are any areas still stuck to the flex plate, you can scrape these carefully with a spatula, chisel, or razor blade. If needed, retouch the surface with 400 grit sandpaper. So again, that's perfectly fine. Clean your flex plate well with isopropyl alcohol and dry. Support and help. Should you have any issues, please refer to our installation guide, video instructions, frequently asked questions, and additional support information on our website, www.whambamsystems.com. And there's a support QR code if you guys use that stuff. And this is just pretty much another thank you on the other side. and it basically tells you everything that's included if you get the singular kit or if you get the double kit, which pretty much they're the same. You're just doubling up on everything. So again, mounting instructions are on the other side here. Before you install any parts, please do a practice run by placing components in place without removing 3M backing, which we basically just did. I put it up here, put it up against it. That's pretty close. Actually, that's dead on, I'd say. So that's very, very good. Clean your build plate thoroughly, which we did. I dropped it in denatured alcohol for about 15 minutes or so. I dropped the whole bed in there just to clean it. Scrub it in an alcohol bath, wipe dry, perhaps even cure under sun or UV to ensure there is no resin residue. Clean one more time with alcohol and let dry thoroughly. So we're going to skip the whole drying part because what I just did is I went through with a razor blade and scraped off everything. Now, again, with the razor blade, it's actually going to take off the metal. So when you do that, you're going to take off everything that's on there, so that there's no dried resin on there, and you can run your hand across it and feel if there's any dried resin. Once your bed is perfectly clean, it's time to apply your Wham Bam magnetic base. First test fit to make sure it is a good match for your plate. It is easy to cut with a cutter knife if need. Okay, so that's very good. So obviously some of these might be oversized, just to make sure that you guys get the correct coverage on there. But again, as it states, you can always cut it down with an X-Acto cutter or a knife or anything like that. So that's nice to have. Let's see here. Once your bed is perfectly clean, it's time to find blah, blah, blah. First time to fit, make sure it's a good match. It will cut with a knife. I already read that. Then peel back the 120mm strip of adhesive. Be very careful not to attract dust, dirt, glue. So again, if you're when you're applying this, make sure you are in an area that has no dust, grime, anything like that. Mine's pretty much as good as it's getting. So I do have an air duster if I need to blow anything away. So that's always nice to have. If you got like one of those PC air duster aerosol cans, go ahead and use that. Or if you have what I have, the fancy rechargeable one, you can use that. Keep the whole magnetic base elevated above the build plate and only touch the far back side to line it up with the build plate. While keeping the side near you elevated, begin to push down in the center rear while slowly working the magnetic base down against the build plate. Pull the backing paper as you wipe from the center outward. Continue working from down with a bit of pressure. You can put a sheet of paper on top and rub it hard. It is best practice to allow the 3M bond to cure for 72 hours for a maximum adhesion. That's perfectly fine because we're good on printing on this printer for the time being, so we can let it sit there for a little bit. But 24 hours gets you about 90% of ultimate adhesion. Well, we're going to do the 72 hour just to be on the safe side. So we'll give it its full cure. Good Lord. Now position the Wham Bam. I apparently can't talk today. The Wham Bam flex plate on top of the Wham Bam magnetic base. You may need to adjust your Z-stop, which we will. As you are adding about 2.6 millimeters to the bottom of your build plate, you may need to physically move your Z-stop sensor to accept this extra distance. Some build plates have enough play to absorb this. Each machine is different. You may need to re-level your build plate if you forced your build plate in any way during this installation. So we'll probably end up re-leveling it anyways, just because the thing about these is, while this is a pretty thick and straight cut magnetic plate, it's pretty straightforward, and I'm going to re-level it just in case anyways. Now, I don't suggest doing it that way. Don't ask me why I did that. But what you should do is pull a little bit back and then just kind of smooth it down, but we're good. I've been doing this for a while with adhesion stuff. I can't do straight lines, but you know, when it comes to adhering things, I'm pretty good at it. So. And again, we're just going to go through and make sure that we get any air bubbles out. And that's pretty much it, guys. There you go. Got your little Wham Bam system on there. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is take this. That's very, very magnetizy. Careful with your fingers. So that's pretty much it, guys. If you got any questions, comments, concerns, go ahead and put them down below. And then if you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Share it out to all your friends, family, peeps, whoever. And if you guys can, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We're so close to hitting 1,000 subscribers. Every little bit helps. Yeah. Until next time, guys. Happy printing.